Good morning. Here's your U.S. news briefing for Tuesday, August 18th. Russia warns UK will pay for supplying drones to Ukraine. Russia accuses the UK of escalating the Ukraine war after British-made drones were used, but the mod says it stands against Russian aggression. $200,000 worth of supplies donated to PB schools. Wetherspoons bans customers playing music from phones in pubs. The pub chain says the decision followed complaints about other people's videos and amplified phone conversations. Apple and #8217's camera-equipped AirPods appear in leaked video. We may have our first glimpse of Apple's rumored camera-equipped AirPods, thanks to a video that Mac Rumors found in the macOS Tahoe 26.7 release candidate. Genie contesting family's sale of stake in Lakers. Genie Bus is contesting a claim from the rest of the Bus family that they are selling the family's remaining stake in the Lakers to new owners Josh Kushner and Bob Iger. Hayden Panettiere's ex Wladimir Klitschko speaks out. She left this world far too soon. The boxer and the late actress were a couple from 2009 to 2018 and had a child together. The Exec's Guide to Longevity Tech AI is reshaping preventative health just as longevity becomes one of luxury's fastest-growing opportunities. Where is the technology heading next, and what should fashion execs be paying attention to? Hayden Panettiere's ex Wladimir Klitschko says family in profound shock and grief. The former heavyweight boxing champion shares a child with the Heroes actress, who died on Sunday. Family throws surprise birthday party at Eagles tailgate for Vietnam vet. Ferguson shipyard to cut a quarter of its workforce. The state-owned yard on the Clyde will lose 70 of its 283 staff through a voluntary redundancy process. Theban tomb reveals how Egyptian burial trends evolved in time. Practices shifted from individuals buried in coffins to reusing sites for later mummy interments. Source: W.R. Allen, 34, gets one-year deal with Colts. The Colts secured a one-year deal with Keenan Allen, 34, a team source told ESPN, confirming multiple reports on Monday, reuniting the veteran with Indianapolis coach Shane Steichen, who spent several seasons with the wideout while on the Chargers staff. Hayden Panettiere's ex Wladimir Klitschko remembers her immense talent while also facing the darker sides of the industry. She left this world far too soon. Hayden Panettiere and #8217's ex Wladimir Klitschko, who is the father of her 11-year-old daughter Kaya, is mourning the actress following her death on Sunday at the age of 36. The Vogue Business AI Tracker. Vogue Business brings you a weekly update of the most interesting stories in the world of AI that you need on your radar. Stay tuned as we spotlight AI initiatives in the fashion and beauty industry each week. War between US and Iran shifts key resources away from Asia. The US focus on Iran has pivoted key resources away from another key geopolitical region, Asia. In Portland, this soapbox derby combines downhill speed with extreme pageantry. Soapbox derbies send motorless cars down a steep incline. At one event, contestants make their cars look like cartoon characters, subway cars, food, and giant animals, among other outlandish shapes. U.S. states call for big changes to Instagram and Facebook as Meta child privacy trial begins. U.S. states are suing the social media giant to force an overhaul of its platforms for young users. Anthropic's annualized revenue surges to $65 billion. The model maker added $18 billion in annualized revenue in 2 months. D-backs put Marte on restricted list after no show. The Diamondbacks placed Ketel Marte on the restricted list after the All-Star infielder failed to show up for Monday night's game against the Red Sox. Croatian crime drama Red Water, directed by Cannes Prize winner Antonita Alamat-Kuzajanovic, to be co-produced by ZDF/Arte, Beta Film, exclusive. Beta Film has teamed up with ZDF/Arte and Anti-Talent to co-produce the Croatian crime drama Red Water, winner of the 2025 Council of Europe Series Co-Production Development Award at the Sarajevo Film Festival's CineLink Industry Days. Pisces Daily Horoscope. February 19th to March 20th. IVF staff accused of misleading UK parents about sperm and egg donors in northern Cyprus. Multiple children are feared to have been conceived using sperm and egg donors which were not the ones selected by the parents. Many recent grads say AI is making it harder to get a job. Economists aren't so sure. The unemployment rate for young adults with new degrees is higher than the rate for all workers, according to the New York Federal. Is AI the problem, or is it more complicated? Job vacancies at 5-year low as smaller firms scale back recruitment. Small firms cite labor and operating costs as reasons for scaling back hiring, the UK's statistics body says. Reddit's AI is turning posts into podcasts and short videos. Reddit is trying out a new way for people to take in content on Reddit, by turning text posts into audio/video content. As part of an experiment, some posts are being adapted into videos that use AI voices to read the text of the main post and some comments. PCA first since 2010 with leadoff, walk-off homers. NL MVP candidate Pete Crow Armstrong launched 2 home runs, a leadoff blast and a walk-off shot as the Chicago Cubs authored a 7-5, 10-inning victory over the rival Chicago White Sox at Wrigley Field on Monday night. Sundance breakout Thelma set for Mandarin remake by Stars Collective, titled Grandma, Please, exclusive. Stars Collective has acquired the Mandarin language remake rights to and #8220, Thelma, and #8221, the 2024 Sundance Film Festival breakout that became Magnolia Pictures and #8217, highest-grossing narrative feature, and is developing an adaptation titled in #8220, Grandma, Please, and #8221. In and #8220, Grandma, Please, and #8221, an 80-year-old grandmother is swindled out of her life savings by a scammer who uses AI to clone her late husband in #8217, and #8230. Register to attend Insider Roundtable, the fashion executive's guide to longevity tech. Join Vogue Business for an intimate, off-the-record discussion on longevity tech, exploring what's next, from wearables to wellness, designed for industry leaders. Zambia's president wins second term with 60% of the vote. Hakainde Hichilema says he was truly humbled by the victory and promised to work for all Zambians. Border construction paused at Big Bend National Park after public outcry. U.S. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Rodney Scott says he is pausing all construction activity on President Trump's wall in Big Bend National Park, ahead of a visit to the area this week. I'm in Barbados, the do's and don'ts of writing an out-of-office reply. As we hit peak holiday season, the BBC looks at the do's and don'ts of composing a good out-of-office message. U.S. vaccination rates fall again as exemptions continue to rise, CDC data shows. Again, the CDC did not publish a full report and instead simply put the data online. Ravens icon Brigance dies after 19-year ALS fight. O.J. Brigance, a former Ravens linebacker and the team's longtime advisor in player engagement, has died 19 years after being diagnosed with ALS. He was 56. Spider-Man, Brand New Day, The Odyssey continue tussle atop UK, Ireland box office. Sony and #8217, as superhero tentpole and #8220, Spider-Man, Brand New Day and #8221, dominated the UK and Ireland box office for a third consecutive weekend, adding £6.1 million, $8.3 million, elevating its running total to $106.5 million after 20 days of release. Universal and #8217, as Epic and #8220, The Odyssey and #8221, held on to second place in its fifth frame. Register to attend the Fashion Executive's Guide to Longevity Tech, live webinar. Longevity tech is reshaping wellness and luxury. Join Vogue Business on September 10th for a live webinar on the trends and brands driving the category. Indian student leader ends hunger strike after 16 days. Devendra Nath Mata was part of a larger protest which began weeks ago, demanding exam reforms in Jharkhand state. A dispute about fact versus fiction at the trial over Tupac Shakur's 1996 killing. A prosecutor said that while few have been willing to speak about the 1996 killing of Tupac Shakur, Dwayne "Kef D. Davis is the one person who has a hard time being silent. Disabled people in England to get 24-hour free bus travel. The change, which has been welcomed by campaign groups, will come into effect in England from April. AI automation startup Relay shuts down, staff joins Google's Chrome team. We have some really ambitious plans to help you work with AI in Chrome to get things done, and I'll have more to share soon, Jacob Bank, Relay founder and CEO, said. WNBA, security wrong to ask fans to cover shirts. At least 3 fans were asked by WNBA security personnel to cover shirts that had messages about transgender women participating in women's sports during Sunday's Fever Dream game. The league said Monday the fans should have been free to wear the shirts. Rosie O'Donnell shines in Jimmy Kimmel Live hosting debut, attacks Mango Mussolini Trump and gives moving Hayden Panettiere tribute. When Jimmy Kimmel announced that Rosie O'Donnell would be filling in as a week-long guest host of Jimmy Kimmel Live during his summer vacation, he teased it would be a special treat for Donald Trump, who's harbored a 20-year-long vendetta against the comic for her mocking his bankruptcies on The View back in 2006. How Kilian Paris is turning a bestseller into a fragrance wardrobe. With the days of the signature scent behind us, Kilian Paris is introducing a new collection to turn its hero fragrance into an expandable universe. China censors public mourning as it holds former premier's funeral. While hailing Zhu's legacy, authorities are wary that the nostalgia could lead to criticisms of Xi's rule. Poll showing LA Mayor Karen Bass leading Nithya Raman by a wide margin was fake, company. A poll released earlier this month claiming Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass had a wide lead over Los Angeles City Council member Nithya Raman in the city's mayoral race was bogus, according to the company that released it. Median Strategies on Monday said in its announcement about the mayoral race poll that it has stopped. That's your briefing for today. Have a great day.